All right, folks, we are back. Welcome on back this Tuesday, August 12th. Get the date right here for all of us just joining us back inside our live trading room. Great to see Lynn and Randy just before. So Russell, Roberto, Alan, Chuck, got Denzel, got Margaret. Always great to see Margaret joining us here, as well as Michael, Jeff, Leda, all of us just joining us again inside our live trading room. Full house there. But if you're joining us back on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, the works, never try and buzz your head if you don't know how it's going to look like afterwards. So I still got my pea head going on here. Got to wear the hat, but down below, right down below there at Cyber Trading U, just feel free to hit the follow or subscribe button there. And I'll tell you what, at least heading into this afternoon, this has just been insane. Just been one of the best months, if not even like, I don't want to say year, obviously. We still got more time left, but from July into August and the dog days of summer, it couldn't be any better of a market for us as traders, whether you're day trading or even swing trading. Looking at the SPY today, obviously, a lot of things are moving up collectively. SPY broke out pretty nicely here. Took a while, had some shakes early on today after the CPI report came out. I think there's also some things with Trump suing Powell and all those other stuff. Listen, the more you even read into the news and you take the time to go on websites, you're going to miss out on trades. We don't focus on the news. We focus on the volume. We focus on the trend, mind you. So obviously, you see on the top right of my screen right here, my position manager. I'm in on a few trades still at this point, down on the LIDR still. It's been slow and right at my price pretty much. But BMNR has been cruising across the day today. I took a 60-cent loss on this just earlier off of 65 bucks. I was in right over 65. I got out at 65.40. Right place, wrong time, right? I know Brian, I know Chuck, a few of us have been in and out on this one over the week. And from that point, that's where I jumped in on my trade here. I got in right off of 60.80. I took two pieces to this trade at least. So I ended up scaling out on part of it already. I still got half my trade left though. And heading into the afternoon, this BMNR could easily be just a stock that we put on our watch list for the afternoon. I'm not going to do that right out the gate here because there could be even better trades to work with. The one that a lot of us here have been talking about just before. I know Russell and myself were in on this trade from earlier, the AT&F trade. Actually, Russell, we were in on this trade from 580, weren't we? Right here. My entry right here with Russell in our coaching session earlier here, right over the opening print. Sure wish I had my shares back, Russell, right? Obviously, neither of us thought that this stock would be at $12 at this time of the day now. So at least by the time it broke over resistance here, I was looking for 50 cents, maybe $1. Got it. So it took half my trade out at 631, the other half with Russell in our coaching session earlier at 671. Then obviously just kept going. I wanted to see this resistance flip into support. Oh, there we go, Dominic. Good evening, Dominic. Great to have you also joining us here as well. So, I was going over this as well with Dominic before. And just unfortunately, this didn't pull back low enough. This was just so strong, so good. It actually held well off of $6, I think this is here, right? So great move. It's up 259% currently. How much more could it keep going up? Obviously, it's pretty high risk because even looking back to October of last year on this weekly candle, just a crazy pop and drop. So we don't want to feel like we're at the casino spinning the wheel, right, or rolling the dice. This type of stock is going to fall down pretty hard, right? Big trees fall hard, as they say, right? So going into the afternoon, I'll put it on our watch list. How could we not at least put this on our list to begin? And listen, we've seen stocks move up more than 259% in one day. We've seen stocks make 800, 1,000% moves. Just even in the last few months, we've seen that here. So I'm not counting that out. I'm just pointing out this is still very high risk, especially with this being halted to the upside, like shooting up like this, probably will get halted to the downside at some point soon. So, before this makes a higher high, this may even get halted going down beforehand. But yeah, we're going to put this on our list, at least, show and tell type of stock, see if this can try and make one more push here for us. Now, in terms of a more tradable opportunity, a stock that obviously is going up, but has better volume on the order book, one that we're more familiar with at least. What a freaking move earlier this Jobby trade had for us. Actually, Archer was the one that had the earnings, and they actually made a full-blown recovery. This got crushed in the after hours yesterday, broke down early this morning. But with the Jobby trade, at least, right? For all of our students, you could see this broke out pretty nicely after the open. It took a while, but it rebroke resistance roughly off of 1730-ish. Here's your resistance from yesterday, at least, easily pop that afterwards. But just a clean move. Actually, let me just point this out here because for all of our members and students just joining us here, keep in mind Fausto all throughout the day is posting himself, and show this here for all of us on the corner. Actually, no, popping up mid-screen here, you'll see. Fausto wrote this at 10:54 this morning to all of our students just joining us. He wrote this saying, if Jobby can get past this iceberg order around 1755, this could be a good swing trade. So you heard the man himself say it. It blasted right above that resistance. It's off to a great start. And, again, he's pointing that out even as a swing trade, not even as a day trade for us. But, heading into the close, I'll come back to this if it makes one more little kip up here going into the afternoon. Definitely a stock we'll focus on at least for tomorrow and for the rest of this week. Archer honestly is looking even stronger right now at this time of the day. You wouldn't have expected, at least based on the drop and the missed earnings that they had. But looking long term, this is a pretty healthy long term graph. It's just had a tough time maintaining higher highs with higher lows after. Like here, you could see it made a clean pop here, where you broke a nice little resistance. You'd figure maybe that could be now support. It had a tough time trying to maintain the next higher low. But listen, it's still doing pretty good long term, and I think there could be some great room ahead on Archer and Jobby too. So we'll come back to both these trades if we need to at the end. The Ondas stock, ONDS, is another one that kind of moves with these drone, air taxi, EVTOL companies, whatever you want to slap the label on for them. This moves up with them at times, and this has been the hotter hand of those actually of late. The past week or two, this has been on fire. I've been looking for a pullback on this stock for a little bit and really haven't gotten much. So I'll put this on our watch list at least here because it's up a lot, moving back up pretty well, definitely showing some life here for this afternoon. So we got the ATNF, we got the Ondas trade. I could put Archer on there as well, ACHR. Probably will slap Jobby on our list at the end as well. This one I'm down on. I just want to update our students on with this trade, LIDR. So I'm still in it. I'm down just a couple pennies, nothing crazy, but just it hasn't made that higher high. I wanted Jobby to help push this up a lot. LIDR, this is another EVTOL air taxi-esque company. But the more it hangs here, at least, there's going to be that push. So I feel like I'm the boy who cried wolf on this stock. This thing hasn't really done jack since I'd called it out. But hey, that's better than tanking. So the fact that it's back here at this point in the afternoon, I don't mind putting this on our list here. Just the only issue is that it's really slow, real slow. So it has good potential, but we'll see what comes of this here into the afternoon. All right, talked about BMNR. We talked about LIDR. Tilray, kind of a dead duck right now. I'm going to get out on the last parts of my trade here, especially if it goes lower here from this dip. But I was hoping for a lot more on this move. And hey, who knows? Maybe we'll get that tomorrow. Maybe we'll get that Thursday. I was looking for a gap fill on the daily chart here up towards $1.37. And we were calling that out since 80 cents here. So that's where I'm in from pretty much. I had to average down on my trade, but I'm in from 77, 78 roundup. Maybe it holds. Maybe it pops back up. And maybe even tomorrow or later this week, I'll make the better move. This trend here is down, though, right now. So I'm not going to waste our time. I'm not going to put this on our watch list here for the afternoon. The trend is your friend, right? Just like here. The last one I'll go over from my position manager here, the TKO. I wrote this yesterday to everyone. This one was something I've been kind of working on all throughout this year. From the beginning of the calendar year, I took a swing trade on TKO. And, they came out with some huge news just yesterday. Oh, it's actually... Rich, we didn't archive the chat, right? Or something's up there. We got to figure that out. All right, here is the chat that I've been posting all about. And this is yesterday, actually. I wrote this yesterday at 3:30 in the afternoon. I'm thinking about a new swing on the trade TKO. Paramount, they struck a deal with Paramount, the network, to broadcast the UFC, Ultimate Fighting Championship. So if you're not familiar with them, they're a company that I'm big into personally. So at least I know the ins and outs. I knew it's a big deal. It's $7-8 billion deal over 7 years. So they're going to be getting a lot of cash, a lot of revenue off of this deal. And listen, they're a pretty healthy chart long term wise. So you could even see here, I drew some fibs on this stock. Actually, I didn't even remember this until now. Looks like this is a nice fib extension point here, huh? All right. Well, if it blows over that, then I'd say our next one for sure would be around 200, 205 even. It's interesting. Now, the issue on this stock is just because I'm in it doesn't mean that we're going to put this on the main special list. This stock is not a day trade. This stock is not a day trade whatsoever. The order book sucks. It's really thin. I'm only doing this on a couple hundred share on 100 shares myself for this one. The BMNR is on 200, but yeah, at least for right now, I'm going to just stay in this. You'll probably hear me talk about this for a little while, but I'm not going to feature this on our main special lists unless if it has better liquidity. That's all. All right, so enough about me, but I just wanted to keep you updated at least with what I've been calling out to our students in our room. Hey, you got to read the chat board, right? Follow what Rich is calling out, follow what I'm calling out, and needless to be said with Fausto too. But if you don't, then you're never gonna, at least tail us on our trades. You're never gonna take these stocks for a nice ride like we are here on some of these. And obviously, we teach you how to do it yourself, but we've been doing this for a little while ourselves, respectively, right? We're trying to steer this boat for all of us, for Kathleen, Brad, Grant. I see Michael here, Stephen, Russell, Lynn, and Randy here as well. And let's go right from top to bottom now. Obviously, this stock is pulling back down. It could get halted on the way back down soon enough. It's on our list. It's kind of a show and tell stock, at least for the time being, until this slows down and builds better support, if anything. EDN. All right, great trade here, at least for right now. Beautiful timing here, in fact, with this breakout higher. I didn't know if this would happen, so perfect timing. Definitely has some good orders out there. Resistance even here on the ask, point blank at the high of the day, 341, 29,000 share seller. Don't mind if I do. Well, yeah, we'll add the EDN. What else we got here? Rumble, not Rumble, not RUM, but I guess different company here. Rumble on Inc. Either way, focus on the trend, right? So we'll pass. Focus on the trend. XFOR. We will not pass on this. We got to add this to our watch list for sure. Nice trade on this stock. The only issue from earlier, a little choppy, a little slow. If you're looking for that proverbial big move shortly after, took a long while for that to happen, right? So listen, it made it worth it here now, but hopefully this becomes even better of a trade heading into the afternoon. All right, we'll keep moving here. iHeartRadio is this possibly, nice little push up now here, but not really the greatest long-term graph. It's not making higher highs as much. Kind of slow the last 5 minutes, so I'll pass on it. Oh, did I? Yeah, I got to jack this volume filter up. I always fail to do that part at least. Here we go. All right, so I weeded out all the low volume stuff at least. Let's rerun this and see what we got. TLS, this was a great trade from yesterday. This also was choppy and was a grind on up here. So you got to assume that the stock is going to retain that same personality type. Had one or two pops, but it still was chugging along pretty slow. It became worthwhile, obviously, which is easy to say in hindsight, but if you're looking for a certain move and you're not really getting that pace, it's just easy to leave money on the table, get out sooner than later. It happens. DDD, HBI, I don't know what happened there. ULCC, Frontier, it's going up pretty nicely. Let's see what the other airlines are doing here for right now. American Airlines up a lot today, a little flat though. United's holding up a lot better. Delta holding up well, but had a better move this morning. All right, and then obviously in JetBlue, care much about JetBlue there. All right, so ULCC, I don't mind putting this on our list, and the UAL trade to kind of tag along with it at least. I don't mind those two. All right, now I got to stop though here. I mean, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different trades to work with so far already on our list. So we got a big watch list at this point so far. We don't need to put like 50 stocks on our list here for this afternoon. LTBR had a good pop earlier. Got some good intel from one of our members here inside our trading room about this stock. They partnered up with the OKLO trade, so that's good to see. on this. It's on our list for right now, I think, right? We put that on there. Yeah. All right. There's a lot that's still up. We got to at least, go through this with a fine tooth comb. You is up a lot. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the stock. All right, enough. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. All right, but seriously, you is making a great move though today. I will put this on our watch list, and I'll also separate you from UAL, and I'll separate it from ULCC. And I really mean that. I'm not joking when I say that because, yeah, I don't want anyone here to have traders dyslexia. All right, so I can't win them all. TKO, I took a swing trade on yesterday, the TKO trade. Well, that news was with Paramount. And actually, I told our students yesterday I was looking into Paramount also as a swing trade, Peace Guy. And I jumped into it yesterday, but shoot straight. Obviously, I tell you what's real. And here I closed out Peace Guy yesterday, going into the close. I was a lot more confident about the TKO. I wrote that in another post. Oh, this is it. P Sky swing is more speculative than TKO. I wrote that point blank to you, which I still find is true. And I told you I closed out the P Sky trade. Unfortunately, I just took a little scratch on that, -3. Who cares? But I did hold the TKO. I held the Tilray. Can't win them all because the P Sky did bounce really good today, didn't it? Shit. I was in from like 10:08, 10:09. I had a really dynamite entry in hindsight on this. I just didn't know if it was going to break lower before it went higher. It's technically a new ticker where it's a brand new chart. So you're technically working with all-time lows. So it was more risk. That is what it is. All right, you know what though? For right now, as a day trade, I don't mind like putting the P Sky on our watch list at least. All right, that's all right. And then what else we got here? ASTS. Stocks L having a great day with the market, obviously. There is so much that's up right now. Like number 100 is up 5.4%. So probably not going to find too much on the loser side. You know what I mean? If anything, it might just be littered with the inverse ETFs. MYO, Fly, none of the shit you can really short. BBAI has been a beast today. So, yeah, we're not shorting BBAI, and this has been a phenomenal move, even off of here, 545, 550-ish area. That was previous resistance that flipped. I'll absolutely make room for this BBAI trade, though. This has a good long-term chart, and if you're a member inside our trading room, you know this because we've been talking about this stock for a little while now. Maybe not every literal day of the week, but pretty much every week of the last several months, we've been at least talking about it on and off here and there. And you know that at least as long as the stock is making higher lows, there is a chance for that higher high. And it failed to make the higher high over time recently here. And I guess they had bad quarter 2, but holy smokes, what a recovery. So, yeah, you want to keep this in mind still, put it on your list for sure. Not much else that I see here from the losers list that really stands out to me, though. So for Brad, Christina, Michael, Steven, all of our students, at least inside our live trading room, you let me know if there's anything else that I'm missing here before we call it a wrap. But that's pretty much it, right? Oh, you know what? That's so funny. I just checked off the mod only feature right there. So I missed out on probably a litany of different chats from students. Linda, great to have you just rejoining us here back in our room. I think that John helped you out yesterday, right? John Romano. What's a circuit breaker halt? I think even one of our members, helped you out there, answering a bit himself. Basically, it's a volatility halt. So it's a little bit more of a talking point I cover in our classes. I have a lot more time in our curriculum to kind of go over that. You know what? I don't mind showing this though briefly because I'm kind of back in teacher mode right now, prepping up our classes for next week. This is our curriculum, just so you know, for like trial members like Linda and Dean joining us. I see here for this week. Who else? Denzel as well. You got Olader. I see Zahid as well joining us this week. This is our actual curriculum. So after your trial membership, if you're interested in enrolling in our classes, we would suggest for you to start with phase 1. And that's what you get, all 12 of these classes uniquely. And we do this curriculum all throughout the calendar year. It's kind of a rotating curriculum or cycle of classes nonetheless. So, you can actually see here phase 2, the the more intermediate based class that I teach, how to trade halts. I go over that exactly in phase 2, lesson 3, which we actually just did last month in July. We actually taught that class live a month ago. So, I just like showing that because as a new trial member, you're kind of lost in the weeds right now a bit. And if it's something that you see potential in, well, that's our main curriculum. And definitely talk to your education advisor about that, Linda, or any of our members here. Oh, Dominic, you got that BBAI? Oh, my man, really nice. So I was on a coaching session with Dominic also just saying, and he nailed it. He got it at that 551, Dom. Beautiful. Beautiful job. He was talking about this trade to me earlier, and we were focused on it there. Actually, Dominic, because I don't think that you were logged in earlier. I actually wrote to everyone, Dominic, as we were on our session, because I do this with all my students I work with in our coaching program. I said to like everyone here, if you were reading the chat at the time earlier, I said Dominic and I are looking for BBAI to flip previous resistance into support, and it looks like he just got that. He was in at 551. Nice job, Dom. Let's see, going from bottom to top now. So SRFM. Nah, it's not really up that much. You want good momentum. You want good volatility, good volume, of course. MVST, how is the long-term graph looking? Not horrible, but a little wacky. Oh, I'm not really a fan of this. Not really a fan of that. Big difference between that versus BBAI, at least. One's holding up a little bit better long-term. So I like what we got for right now, folks. Not really a great need to add anything else. I just didn't know if there was anything else that I missed that was like just popping, getting halted, ATNF style. But hey, heading into the close here, folks, I'm going to be on a coaching call with one of our students. So you got Rich here heading into the afternoon. There we go. Post that list real early for us right now. And again, we'll be back on in just a moment, just joining us inside our live trading room. But if you're on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, the works, popping up down below, corner left, at Cyber Trading U. If you're new, just hit the like and also follow button down below so you know when we're going live each and every morning, each and every afternoon. We do live streams, live workshops, live podcasts. Everything is live, but it's also recorded and put on our YouTube channel as well. So that's down below at Cyber Trading U. But otherwise, we look forward to having you just join us inside our trading room here over time. And again, for trial members right now, like Dean and Linda and Olaware and all of our members just here, Brett as well. Hope that you're enjoying your time with us, but we're here to help as well. So like Linda did just before, feel more than free to ask any questions that you have. And if not myself or Fausto, the instructors here, then your education advisor, John Romano or whomever, they'll be able to help you at least over time. But again, we'll be back on in just about 10 or so minutes, folks. We'll talk to you all soon.